You are a human, and you want things. Food, shelter, maybe a slightly larger TV than your cousin has. The problem is, the universe didn't pack enough atoms to give everyone infinite pizza and flat screens. That harsh physical limit is called scarcity. Because there isn't enough stuff to go around, you cannot have everything, and neither can anyone else. We're forced to choose who gets what. Every single choice requires a sacrifice. If you spend 10 minutes watching this video, you pay the cost of not watching Cat Fails for those 10 minutes. That sacrifice is your opportunity cost. Faced with inescapable scarcity and the constant weight of opportunity cost, early humans had to figure out a way to share the load and survive. So they invented a system to navigate these choices. We call it economics. The first solution was specialization, driven by comparative advantage. This is the mathematical reality, that even if you are terrible at everything, you are always least worst at one specific task. By focusing on that one task, you create a surplus you can trade. But direct trade creates massive friction. Trying to find someone willing to swap a live goat for your extra Wi-Fi router is exhausting and highly inefficient. To eliminate that friction, we invented money. Think of it as economic lube. A universal medium of exchange, like these gold bars, allows you to store value and trade with anyone, anywhere, without needing a perfectly matched barter. This graph plots how we decide who gets what. The downward line is demand, the upward line is supply. Where they cross is the equilibrium price. It perfectly balances buyers and sellers, coordinating desire and raw production into a single efficient number. No king or planner sets that number. That automatic, decentralized coordination of math and desperation is exactly what we call the invisible hand. To get more stuff faster, we combined land, human labor, and capital, man-made tools like tractors and factories, to boost productivity. Higher productivity simply means extracting more finished goods per hour of human effort. Funding those massive factories requires cash that early builders didn't have, so we invented banks and fractional reserve banking, a system that takes deposits from savers, keeps a tiny fraction in the vault, and lends the rest to ambitious borrowers. To pool truly massive amounts of risk, we built finance. By trading claims on future money, like stocks and bonds, these chaotic markets connect people with excess cash to people who desperately need cash to build. When local markets maxed out, we went global. But extreme efficiency breeds extreme fragility. In 2021, a single container ship wedged diagonally in the Suez Canal froze 12% of global trade, costing $10 billion a day. We also highly concentrated our production. When a handful of specialized factories in East Asia face disruptions, the entire world experiences a supply shock, like when a shortage of these semiconductor chips caused used car prices to randomly spike. The financial system is even more delicate because it runs purely on trust. If that trust evaporates, you get a bank run. Everyone panics, tries to withdraw their deposits at exactly the same time, and the institution collapses. When complex financial backs explode, massive institutions holding billions of dollars can vanish overnight, sending destructive shockwaves through the broader economy. Left totally unchecked, the free market machine ignores fairness and safety. It blindly follows incentives, driving economies into painful, inevitable cycles of boom, bust, and occasional systemic collapse. To keep the machine from tearing itself apart, we built massive control mechanisms, governments and central banks, like the U.S. Federal Reserve. Governments extract mandatory payments called taxes to fund public goods, things like roads, clean air, and national defense, that the free market will never voluntarily build on its own. Meanwhile, central banks steer the economy using monetary policy. They lower interest rates to make borrowing cheaper and boost growth, or raise rates to make capital expensive and fight off inflation. Mismanage that control, and the results are disastrous. If a government prints too much money without making more goods, prices spiral out of control. Zimbabwe printed these $100 trillion bills, and its citizens still couldn't afford lunch. The modern economy operates as a high-stakes balancing act. We are constantly tweaking policy, trying to harness the immense wealth-generating power of the market without being crushed by its momentum. Pushing an economic theory to its absolute extreme rarely works in practice. Total state-planned command economies, which eliminate private property, frequently resulted in catastrophic shortages and citizens waiting in freezing lines for basic rations. Pure, unchecked capitalism fails too. Behavioral economics proves that humans are not rational calculators. We are emotion-driven chaos merchants who heavily discount the future and panic buy toilet paper at the first sign of trouble. That is why virtually every successful modern nation relies on a mixed economy. It is a messy, pragmatic compromise that blends the innovation of free markets with the safety nets of government intervention. Economics isn't a flawless mathematical law. It is just humanity's ongoing, highly imperfect attempt to answer three eternal questions. What do we make? How do we make it? And who gets it?